is a very desperate move, but a desperate move that will put lives at risk.
Wisconsin Democratic Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes says President Donald Trump's in-person campaign event next week in Wisconsin will be dangerous because of the pandemic.
And that's the unfortunate part about it, because people's lives and safety has been completely disregarded since Donald Trump took office.
12 News' Adrian Pedersen asked White House spokesperson Kayleigh McEnany about whether Trump would follow Wisconsin's mask mandate.
The governor has just said that he expects the president and the vice president to wear masks when they visit next week. Do you think they will?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to the president about that. We obviously respect the decisions being made by state and local governments. The president is certainly not opposed to wearing a mask. I'm on the road with him, and he routinely wears one to abide by restrictions.
I asked the lieutenant governor if he was concerned Trump would gain a political advantage in Wisconsin by visiting when Joe Biden is not coming for the Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee.
Absolutely not. I don't think so. People know how ridiculous. People have put their own lives on hold right now. People aren't going on vacation. People aren't going out to eat. People aren't visiting loved ones because it's the responsible thing to do. And with the president's visits, they see a level of irresponsibility that should never be in the White House. And I'll add, too, it's not like if Joe Biden showed up that people will be going to a rally. I wouldn't even show up to a Joe Biden rally if he came to Wisconsin right now.
Barnes says it'll be up to local officials where the president visits to enforce the mask mandate.
So the president's not opposed to it. He says wearing a mask is patriotic, and he's done so many times.
Terry Sater, WISN 12 News.